The 2024 House elections hold immense significance for Donald Trump's second term. These elections are not just about filling seats in Congress. They are a referendum on Trump's policies and leadership. The results will reflect the public's approval or disapproval of his administration's direction. The outcome will determine the balance of power in Congress and shape the political landscape for years to come. A Republican victory would bolster Trump's agenda, allowing for smoother passage of his legislative priorities. The composition of the House will influence legislative priorities, from healthcare and immigration to economic policies and climate change initiatives. A Republican victory would strengthen Trump's hand, enabling the implementation of key policies and reinforcing his political influence. This could lead to significant achievements in areas such as tax reform, deregulation, and national security. The administration would have the support needed to advance its legislative agenda effectively. The stakes are high, with major implications for policy, governance, and the future of American politics. The election results will set the tone for the next 2 years and could impact the 2024 presidential race. Key issues such as healthcare reform, tax policies, and national security will be at the forefront of the political debate. The House of Representatives plays a crucial role in the American political system. It is the body where laws are introduced and debated, and it serves as a check on the executive branch. The power dynamics within the House can significantly influence the direction of national policies. With a Republican-controlled House, the ability to initiate spending bills and conduct oversight would align with Trump's vision for the country. This control would facilitate the passage of spending bills that support defense, infrastructure, and social programs aligned with Republican values. Control of the House gives the Republican Party significant leverage over the legislative agenda and the ability to shape the national conversation. The party in power can set priorities, influence public opinion, and drive the legislative process. This control can lead to significant changes in policy and governance, positively impacting the lives of millions of Americans. A Republican victory in the House has given Trump a much freer hand to implement his policies. With a Republican majority, he has successfully passed tax cuts, deregulation, and other conservative priorities. A Republican House has also reduced aggressive oversight of the administration. This has allowed Trump to more effectively enact his agenda. While the Senate, with its 60-vote threshold for most legislation, remains a potential obstacle, public opinion and reduced legal challenges have facilitated Trump's efforts to implement his policies. The Senate plays a crucial role in confirming presidential appointments, including federal judges and Supreme Court justices. This process is vital for maintaining the balance of power within the federal government and ensuring that the judiciary remains independent and fair. During Trump's first term, the Republican-controlled Senate confirmed 2 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. These confirmations were highly contentious and sparked intense debate across the political spectrum. These appointments have shifted the balance of the court to the right and will have a lasting impact on American law. The decisions made by these justices will influence critical issues such as reproductive rights, healthcare, and immigration for generations to come. The filibuster, a procedural tactic that allows a senator to block a vote by speaking indefinitely, has become a major point of contention in recent years. Originally intended as a tool for extended debate, it has increasingly been used as a political weapon to stall legislation and judicial nominations. Democrats have accused Republicans of abusing the filibuster to obstruct progress on issues such as gun control and climate change. These issues are of significant concern to many Americans, and the use of the filibuster has led to frustration and calls for reform. Some Democrats have called for abolishing the filibuster altogether. They argue that its elimination would allow for more efficient governance and enable the passage of critical legislation that addresses the needs of the American people. However, opponents of this move caution that it could lead to a loss of minority party rights and further polarization in an already divided political landscape. The debate over the filibuster is not new. Throughout history, it has been both defended as a necessary check on majority power and criticized as an impediment to democracy. As the political climate continues to evolve, the future of the filibuster remains uncertain, with both sides weighing the potential consequences of its reform or abolition. With the potential for Republican support, there is a possibility to overcome the filibuster and advance crucial judicial nominations. This cooperation could pave the way for significant legislative achievements and shape the judiciary for years to come. Republican control, a double-edged sword. Republican control of the House would fundamentally change the dynamics of Trump's presidency. With a majority, Republicans could more easily advance Trump's legislative agenda, pushing through key policies without significant opposition. This control would enable them to pass legislation that aligns with Trump's vision, from tax reforms to immigration policies, without needing to secure bipartisan support. But it would also come with its own set of challenges. The lack of opposition could lead to more extreme policies, as there would be less need for compromise and negotiation. Some argue that this could result in a more polarized political environment, with legislation reflecting the interests of the majority party rather than a balanced approach, and further exacerbate partisan divisions. The dominance of one party could deepen the ideological divide, making bipartisan cooperation even more challenging. The benefits of Republican control must be weighed against the risks of marginalizing minority voices and increasing political polarization. It is a complex situation with far-reaching consequences, as both parties grapple with the implications of such a significant shift in power. The stakes are high, and the outcome could reshape the legislative landscape. The future of Trump's presidency under Republican control remains uncertain, but it is a topic that will undoubtedly remain at the forefront of political discourse. Trump's second term, navigating a divided Congress. Regardless of the outcome of the 2024 House elections, Trump is likely to face a divided Congress in his second term. This means that he will need to work with both Democrats and Republicans to pass legislation and achieve his policy goals. Navigating a divided Congress requires skill, compromise, and a willingness to work across the aisle. There is potential for cooperation, especially on Republican initiatives that may find support across party lines. Trump's success in his second term may depend on his ability to build relationships with members of both parties and find common ground on key issues, particularly those championed by Republicans. Public backlash and political polarization. Trump's presidency has been marked by deep political polarization and public backlash. His policies and rhetoric have alienated many Americans, leading to protests, legal challenges, and a highly charged political environment. Despite this, the Republican Party has shown resilience, adapting strategies to navigate the polarized landscape. They have focused on mobilizing their base, leveraging media, and addressing key issues to maintain support. The deep divisions in American society over issues such as immigration, healthcare, and climate change are unlikely to be resolved anytime soon. The stakes policy implications of a divided government. The 2024 House elections will have a significant impact on policy in a wide range of areas. From healthcare to immigration to climate change, the outcome of the elections will determine which party's priorities are advanced and which are stalled. A divided Congress could lead to gridlock on major policy issues, or it could force both parties to find common ground and compromise. The stakes are high, as Republican priorities and successes will shape the future direction of the country. The future of American politics. Cooperation or conflict? The 2024 House elections will test American democracy. Will the parties work together or continue partisan gridlock? Republicans are making efforts to inspire unity. Conclusion: a defining moment for Trump's legacy. The 2024 House elections will be a defining moment for Donald Trump's presidency. The outcome of the elections will shape the political landscape for years to come and have a lasting impact on Trump's legacy. Whether he faces a Democratic or Republican House, Trump will need to navigate a divided Congress and a deeply polarized nation. His success in promoting Republican policies and achievements will determine whether his presidency is remembered as a time of progress and positive change.